Here's the arrangement that we're working on. I've never ever done arrangements before, and never to this capacity, so I'm not quite sure how this is gonna work. And this is a lot of flowers, so this is probably a little bit ambitious, but we're gonna make it happen. One of the biggest things I wanna utilize my platform for, besides being creative and fitness, is just having a healthy dialogue about self-love. Because having a conversation about self-love, I learned is very, very uncomfortable for a lot of people. And it's hard when you actually don't feel like that you're deserving of love, or you haven't had any real examples of how you should treat yourself or others. With that being said, I think one of the biggest problems or the most uncomfortable conversations is taking accountability. I didn't grow up in the best circumstances, and there has been a lot of unfortunate things that have happened to me in my life. I could blame everybody else for the things that ever happened. I could blame the people that I grew up with. I could blame my parents. I could blame so many other things. But truthfully, what I learned is that doing that is going to get you anywhere. Instead of actually blaming, you need to sit down and have a discussion or figure out exactly how can you make it outside of this circumstance. We're here, this happened, and like be completely aware of the situation that happened. But then move forward and say, okay, so how can I get myself out of it? What can I do to be better? And I think that's even when we get inside of unfortunate situations. Because 9 times out of 10, there's something that we could have done to have prevented it from happening. Or there were signs that showed you or told us that this was not the right way to go or the right thing we should be doing. And that's where accountability comes into place. And I think it's a hard conversation, especially when you're talking about relationships too. I think one thing that I struggled with at one point in time is taking accountability for how my relationships was going. Because although I cannot control what somebody else does, I can control the people that I let inside of my life. I can control how I react to those situations. By the way, what I'm doing is I'm picking all these flowers or these leaves off of it, and I know that the leaves look a lot better. They help them last longer, and honestly, it will keep the water a lot cleaner because you don't have the leaves just dipping inside of your water or falling inside. Now we have these clean, long stem roses. I want to feather them out a little bit. You don't have to be too aggressive. Kind of like open them up a bit. When you buy roses, one way to tell if your roses are fresh, touch the petal and you see how firm they are. If they're too mushy, are they too loose, it could be the problem. And see how that just opened right up. But understanding why you accepted the things that you had accepted goes back to the question, why did I allow this person to do this? Why did I put myself in this position? What about me that ignored certain things that this person did, and I knew that I shouldn't be ignoring it, but I did it anyways? Because I feel like that people, they could put on a show. A lot of people, they could hide their intentions, put on a mask. A person could put on a mask, but they can only put it on for so long. So for example, if a person holding a mask up 24/7, so eventually their hand's gonna start slipping because they're getting tired, and they notice it's slipping, then they pick it back up. But when their hand starts slipping and that real true face start to show, those are those red flags or those signs that that person is giving off. That's why I find it very important for us to pay attention to those red flags or the signs that show that this person might not be the right person for us. And don't ignore it neither. I feel like a lot of us ignore our intuition or our best instinct that's telling you that, hey, this person literally did this. It's not something that I really value or who I'm looking for in an individual. So maybe I should fall back off of it. Or even after knowing that this person is not a great person for us, we choose to give them a shot anyways. Why? Why do we continue to give people chances that we know who's not worthy or is completely incapable of loving us the way that we want to be loved? That's when you got to kind of dig a little bit deeper. And that's where the self-love part comes into effect. You need to realize that you are worthy of somebody who is actually going to love you the way that you want to be loved. Worthy of having somebody who is not going to mess around on you, cheat on you, sleep on you, disrespect you, press your boundaries. Not even just in the terms of relationship, just in business, just when it comes to family or friends. And some people, they accept the same friends who keep doing the same weird stuff over and over and over again. And I get it, sometimes we have a deep emotion or a deep connection to our family and friends. But you gotta figure out if they are disrespecting you, they're treating you badly, if they're pressing your boundaries, how much do they actually respect and love you? And at that point, you have to say, you know, I love and I respect myself so much to not allow this to keep happening. I understand that you're family and I understand that we've been through a lot, but at the end of the day, my happiness matters the most because I have to live inside of this body. And also 9 times out of 10, when you think about the people that you actually having this false sense of loyalty towards, probably because of a previous person that you know them to be, not the person that they actually are, or the version of them that they portrayed to be, not the version that they are now. That's how they loop you in. It's like, okay, I used to be this person, but you know, maybe my life is elevated in a whole different way and you're not elevating there. Maybe I'm prioritizing mental health more than you are, or maybe because you was just putting on the front in the beginning and now like your true colors is showing. You have an attachment to the person who they was, not the person they is now. And regardless, you need to make your best discernment to figure it out. Like this person is probably not worthy of loving me the same way that I love them or how I want to be loved. And those are uncomfortable conversations. But it is important because at the end of the day, you can either A, or you could sit here in the same atrocity that has lead you down this path, or you could cut ties with an individual who does not quite respect you. Like, how is your respect for yourself at that point? How do you view yourself? Do you feel like you're worthy of that? Do you feel like you're actually that person who deserves that? Do you feel deserving? That's where we have to actually go through a self-love phase and kind of figure out exactly how can I raise my vibrations to actually come to the conclusion that I am worthy, that I love myself, that I wouldn't allow you to disrespect me because I'm about to disrespect myself. And if you allow them to do that, that means that you are disrespecting yourself because then you're putting yourself in something that you really don't want to go through. That makes sense? Here we have the sunflowers. These stems are pretty big, so we're gonna chop these down too. And personally, I feel like that was one of my biggest problems. It's like I allowed people to be in my life who didn't quite deserve to be there, to be honest with you. I allowed people to take advantage of me. I allowed people to falsely love me, people to lie and ignore different signs that proves time over time that they wasn't the person that I thought they was. And that was my fault. I can't blame them for being a terrible person because 9 times out of 10, people who are like this, they have no idea they're being like this. Are they not aware enough to actually want to do better? So what do? Do you sit there and try to change somebody? You know? Because you can't change an individual, they have to want it for themselves. So even if you actually try to show them or tell them, they have to actually want to go through this process and see their faults on their own or it's going to become a better person. So what do you do then? You have to control what you do, the people you let into your life. A person's not going to respect you if you don't respect yourself. How you going to command a room and you can't even be the commander of your own self? It's impossible. But I tell you, like, a journey of self-love, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. And I'm not gonna sit here and, act like it's all peaches and cream because I understand too. It is a battle, but I think that it's a battle that's worth having, especially if you're looking at the longevity of how you want your life to plan out. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to layer these. I kind of want to do the sunflowers first. I do have these fillers in there as well. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I know that it's a very sensitive topic for a lot of people because even when it comes down to being with, domestic abusive partner, or when it comes to taking a man or a woman back who cheated on you multiple times, you shouldn't have, or even come to keep allowing like your mother to keep coming in your life knowing that she don't mean you no good. You know that all she has been is an abusive individual towards you. How do you deal with that? How do you cut that person off? How do you let somebody go who you know is terrible for you? It's about understanding who you are as a person and know that you are worthy of something bigger than what they are giving you. That's what self-love is. It's about knowing and setting that boundary that, you know what? I know that I'm deserving. I know I don't deserve this. And I love myself enough to let this go. That's how you let it go. That's how you get over an individual who actually means you no good. It's about having self-love and deep appreciation for yourself. So it's like, I love you, but I gotta let you go. I have to love you with a long handled spoon. This is so important even when it comes to finances. It's important when it comes to dream jobs. It's important when it comes to just getting anything that you want to obtain with inside this life. You have to feel like that you are worthy. You are worth it. Even if you don't have any examples, any proof that what you're doing is going to work, you have to have utmost respect and love for yourself and know that this is going to work because I love myself and I trust myself and I know that it is. One of the biggest things that was a game changer to me is I used to see people in like the flyest cars, or I see the nicest home. And I used to romanticize it so much, but it used to feel so unattainable to me. Like, bro, this is like, I come from eating food on the floor. You know what I'm talking about? Like, we had plastic on our windows so we could keep the heat inside of the house. So like seeing these nice mansions and Rolls Royces pulling up and people in Ferraris, all of this seemed very, very unobtainable. It didn't seem like it was real. I didn't feel like I was the person who could actually make that happen. I had to tell myself at one point in time that I was worth it. I can do this. If they can do it, I can do it. There's literally no difference between you and the next person besides the mindset and the actual drive to do it. That's it. Literally the mindset. And I know you probably hear that a lot. I heard that a lot. I don't quite understand what it means. It sounds probably cliche, but it's so true. And also one of the biggest things for me was surrounding yourself around people who are actually doing what you want to do, or people that inspire you. Something somebody told me, and I never forget, that if you are the smartest one in the room, you need to switch room. You need to be the dumbest one in that room. Sometimes it's okay to be the smartest, don't get me wrong. Sometimes it's okay for you to be that motivational factor for people. It's okay for you to inspire people. The room that you're constantly in and you always the smartest one in there, you need to switch rooms. Because you need to be around people who are actually doing the things that you want to do so it feels good. You need to be around these ballers. You need to be around these musicians. If you want to be an artist, you need to be around painters. You need to go to art exhibits. You need to see people doing this. You want to fly cars? Go drive around Beverly Hills and look at houses. Go Even if, you know what I mean? Like, you have to literally live it. You have to see it. It has to become true. And this is why I believe that you are the people that you hang around. You become the sum of those people. Same routine, same habits, same life, same complaining, or, you know, y'all talking about deals. It's crazy because I start being around people who talking about $1 million a year, $500,000 a year, $15 million a year. Our business owners who have $10 million valuations on their businesses. Back then, you said $1 million? I'm like, what? That shit was unfathomable. Now it's like, I haven't touched $1 million, but it feels so real. I feel like it's there so closely. I know it's gonna happen. Because I've seen people around me who actually made it happen. But it all goes back to self-love and just like the belief that everything that you want, you can get. Because you believe and you trust in yourself so much that it'll happen. Here's the arrangement. Honestly, for my first one, I think I did pretty good. Anyways, that's the end of my TED Talk. If y'all have any questions or anything else you want me to talk about, just drop a like, a comment in the comments for me, and subscribe to me if you haven't yet.